Eden, no longer number one. Taxes plummeting. And territories on Realtor.com? This is GDN. This past week, most places and most worlds across Eternum were merged into one another. Unluckily for Eden, we were not one of them. Now, we are number 3 in servers. Not number 1, like we're used to, and not even second best, which is also last place, but third of all server sizes. I've heard around the streets that people have become lost, but I've got a quote of the week for you guys. Remember, that what was once lost will always be found. Coming up, because of Eden no longer being number 1, well, it probably has nothing to do with the server size, but taxes are now plummeting. Just look at Morningdale. Morningdale, which used to be the highest tax in all the land, has now become pretty low, if you ask me. You know what's next. On to Mr. Green.
Hello everyone, this is Mr. Green 1290 of Green Stonks Corner. This week the most notable change was in Phoenix Weave. Last Friday there was a huge buyout of all the Phoenix Weave on the market, but don't worry, some heroes were there to refill the empty market at 3x the rate. Of course, the very next day the market had corrected itself, but let me tell you, I mean those heroes sure made a lot of money during that price spike. Today we're going to be talking about attribute crafting mods. You know, the little things that you use to force attributes on an item when crafting? You know, so you don't end up with a focus intelligence hammer? Well, I don't have a legitimate fancy graph to show you as I wasn't tracking data at the time, but does that stop green stonks? No way. So I just made one up. So what's going on here? Why did these little buggers jump to over 1,000 times their normal price? Well, in December there was an introduction of timeless shards, and timeless shards can be used in crafting to allow the crafter to not only force an attribute, but also an additional perk on that item. The problem is, when you're forcing an attribute, you have to use 10 of these crafting mods to do so. And since you only have a 1/6 chance to even get a legendary, in the best case scenario, it means you need at least 60 of these little guys, and that's just for one legendary. Won't the free market respond to this like it did with orichalcum ingots? Well, when ingot prices skyrocketed, everyone and their mom was out farming the ore to cash in on that price hike. And unfortunately, at the time of recording, there is no way to farm the most valuable of these attribute mods. That is to say, at this point in the game, there are more being used per day than can be generated, which is why the price is going up and it will continue to do so. So please, if anyone from AGS or anyone with any power in the New World development sphere sees this, please reduce the need for these mods, or even add a way to reliably farm them. Crafting is our end game, and our crafters are literally running out of materials. That was Green Stonks Corner, and as always, buy high, sell higher.
Green, insightful as ever. This week we decided to not quite do an ad, but we have something better for you in store. Before we get into war, I just want to remind the people of Eden that buying territories is bad. Selling territories is bad. On to war. First war, we've got Cutlass Keys. Chalked 1. Chalked beat packs. Yeah. They beat packs. Stat padding, the Purple Guild, losing to Grim, who's been attacking and attacking over and over. So congratulations, Grim, on the W there. Not much going on in the war department. Hopefully next time, we'll get a little bit going. Next week, we are taking a break. We got some stuff going on. We're gonna take a little second to handle that business, and we'll be right back. Guys, remember, strut those feathers. This has been GDN.